Hello! Today we're talking about Russia. And we're talking about Russian nesting dolls or matryoshkas. Let's see, I'll show you first this. This is a Russian nesting doll. You can see there are dolls inside of each other. This one has a whole bunch. It gets down to itty bitty. And there's one of cats, so it doesn't have to be just people. Well, why don't I read this to you first? The matryoshka doll, or Russian nesting dolls, are wooden dolls stacked inside one another. Traditionally, the outer doll is a woman, the inner dolls can be any gender, and the smallest is usually a baby. I'll show you one that I have. My brother brought this back for me. So there's the woman. Sometimes they're grandmothers. Some people call them, I think it's babushka, which means grandmother in Russian, I believe. So there's the outer, then there's a man, another girl, maybe a little boy, and then there's a little tiny baby inside. So this is, I'll show you the biggest to the smallest. So that is, we're going to make our own version of that for our craft project today. That is the Russian nesting doll. But we're talking about Russia. Russia is the largest country in the world and goes across 2 continents. So we've talked a lot about countries and continents. Here is Russia, this yellow one up here. It's a very big country. And we've talked about continents. We have our South America, North America, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. And so this is Asia, which has part of Russia in it, and also Europe, which has part of Russia in it. Russia is also surrounded by 3 of the 5 oceans, and we have not talked about the oceans before. So here is Russia on the globe. On the globe it's this orange one. And let's see, here is the Atlantic Ocean. So the oceans in the world, just like the continents, are divided up into big chunks, big areas. So you've probably heard of the Pacific Ocean, because that is the ocean that we are right next to. So this area on the globe is the Pacific Ocean, and it touches Russia up here. Then you've got the Arctic Ocean, and that touches Russia here. And then the Atlantic Ocean, which comes in the, which sea is that? Baltic Sea is part of the Atlantic Ocean, and that comes in and touches Russia here. So let's talk about the oceans for a second. There are 5. I'm going to show you, I think on this map might be a little easier. So this chunk is the Indian Ocean. This over here is Pacific Ocean, but on the globe it's connected. So you can see how you've got Russia over here, then you go over the Pacific Ocean, and then hit the United States over here. So this is all connected, but when you flatten it out on a map, it has it separated. So you can see this is still the Pacific Ocean here and here. So Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, this is Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, which looks long and skinny on there, but is actually this up here on the north end of the world. And then you've got the Southern Ocean, same thing, that is down here on the bottom. Alright, so those are our oceans. I think I got all of them, right? Southern Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Arctic Ocean. 5 oceans. So that's something we can talk about now. You've got all your 7 continents and now 5 oceans and a whole lot of countries. Alright, so let's move on We're keeping it a little shorter these days, a little less information. Let's move on to our animals. I have the animal that we're focusing on today is the pika. That cute little guy there. The pika is related to hares and rabbits. They have different amount of toes on their back feet and front feet, and I actually messed this up on my handout here. I'll have to look it up. On their front feet they have 4 or 5, and on their back feet they have 4 or 5. So one they have 4, the other they have 5. I'll look it up. They are only about 6 inches long, so maybe about that big, and these guys are related to rabbits. They kind of look fuzzy and fluffy like a rabbit, just without the long ears. Huh? Other animals in Russia, there's Siberian tiger, which you may have heard of. The Siberian tiger, of all the cat family, so leopards and jaguars, other tigers, the Siberian tiger is the biggest. They can get up to 700 pounds and be 10 feet long. There are also black bears, snow leopards, polar bears, and the little pikas that I showed you in Russia. Let's see. And that is all I have for my handout. If you have questions for me, I would love to answer any other questions you might have. Let me know. All right, so in the next video we'll do a craft project and then story time. Thanks.